Now we are delighted that members of both the Hume and Trimble families have been able to join us this afternoon. Although we're paying tribute to the work of John and David, I'm sure that both men would have been the first to highlight the contributions and lifelong support also made by their wives, Pat and Daphne. Their steadfast support during the many difficult years were a constant source of hope and inspiration. This afternoon, we have asked David's son, Nicholas, to give us his reflections on the work of his father. Please welcome Nicholas Trimble.
I'm going to say something that I haven't said in a very long time. My dad could beat up your dad. Now, I don't know if that's still a thing, but when I was very young at primary school, that was something that kids would say to each other on the playground. And if you take away the violence from it, the unnecessary violence from it, at its heart, it's a boast from a child who is fiercely proud of their dad. Because to them, at that age, your dad is the biggest and strongest man you know. In many ways, he is Superman. There's nothing he can't do. Then when you get a bit older, the age of a lot of you here this evening, you realize there are some things Dad can't do. He has his strengths, but he has his weaknesses too. He's just a man, nothing more, but nothing less. And then as time goes on, and I hope a lot of you haven't experienced this yet, but it comes to us all, you realize your dad becomes a little bit less able to do what he used to be able to do. Your mum phones you up and says, "Can you come round this weekend to move this bookcase? I don't want your dad to move it." And you make the realization, crikey, Dad's an old man. And for men, it happens to all men, it happens to everybody, but for men like David Trimble and John Hume, although they were nibbled at by time and they are both sadly no longer with us, they were a bit lesser physically in those last years that they were with us. Politically, they were and always will be supermen. They did what people thought could not be done. They moved the immovable, they overcame the insurmountable, and they brought peace to Northern Ireland. And why? Why did they do it? They did it for each and every one of you, because although they came from very different backgrounds, both of them fundamentally believed that every person in Northern Ireland deserved a future that was framed in peace and filled with opportunity. And I hope for all you young people here this evening, whatever path you choose to go on with your life, whatever route you go down, I hope that you take hope that knowing that great men went before you to do those things that couldn't be done, or people thought couldn't be done, to give you those opportunities. You do not need to overcome the same hurdles that those before you overcame, and I think you should take hope from that. And am I proud of Dad? Well, my dad could beat up your dad. I think a better one is, my dad helped stop everybody's dad from fighting it all. And I will never not be proud of that. Thank you.
Nicholas Trimble. Thank you, Nicholas.